Let's go into the mugshot, Rob, if you want to put the picture up. So yesterday, 7:30,
He looks pissed.
gets rained. He goes through and he gets this picture of the mugshot, which I'm sure he thought about this on how he was going to pose for the picture.
Yeah.
He probably in front of mirror posed, how do I want the mugshot to be? Because this, by the way, you have to think about it. This is going to last hundreds of years. This is permanent, right? When you think about Adam sent a list of the greatest mugshots of all time, Rob, if you want to pull this up.
Yeah, this is at the top now.
There's a lot of them if you go through these. I think they have Bill Gates as number one. If you go on this one, keep going down. There's them right there. You got Bill Gates, you got Frank Sinatra, keep going. You got Jay-Z, you got Eminem, you got Nick Nolte to the left, you got Jeremy Meeks, who women went crazy over. You got David Bowie, you got Keanu Reeves, keep going. Anybody else?
Yeah, James Brown.
Oh, James Brown does not look good.
Look.
Robert Downey Jr. looks good.
He looks
like Nick Nolte.
Okay.
Elvis is going to be on this list, no doubt.
Yeah, so when you look at this,
Pacino, Bieber,
Pacino, Elvis,
yeah, there's
Martin
MLK.
Luther King, yeah, he's got to be at the top of the list.
I mean, this is marketing at its highest level. Remember when we went to Rogan's set?
Yeah.
And he had all the pictures
did.
of famous mugshots. Just insert Trump's mugshot right into the top three, top five, no doubt.
And Glenn, do you see? And Pat, for all you guys, look at his hair. He probably had a stylist there. Look at that face of. Look at who. Who do you think he's you know what's going on in that head?
Me.
I'm going to kill everybody. I'm gonna go after. Now, Pat, that face and the way he spoke after.
It's his first tweet. His first tweet since getting suspended.
Yeah.
Go on Twitter and post a picture. His first. It's almost as if he wanted that mugshot. He said,
God.
"Give me the mugshot.
Yeah.
This is going to help me get elected." And the left is thinking, "We're going to destroy him with his mugshot." I wouldn't be surprised if his next book's going to be that mugshot.
Yeah, no doubt. And didn't Elon retweet this? What did he say? What did Elon say?
Go to Elon real quick when he retweeted
it. Glenn, while he's looking, do you think the left is always up to something? And just going back really fast, there's no accountability. Everything that you said was spot on about the spying and Obama and Hillary. No accountability. So that makes one think that the left runs all of all the DOJ and everything, which I feel like there's one or two Republicans in there. This is this their ploy to get him? It's obviously not working. What is this it, or do they have something else up their sleeves for 2024?
Well, I think. First of all, it is interesting the choice he made, because there have been now people who have been taking mugshots where they're famous and they know it's going to be public and they smile, they try to make it like any other. He had that option. I think he very purposely wanted to convey this is not something to laugh at. This is not something that's cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is not something that's fun. This is something that is a grave attack, not just on me, but on all of you. And this requires defiance and anger and rage, which I think it does. This is an extraordinary attempt to take the oppositional leader in the United States. Imagine we looked at any other country doing this.
Yeah.
And we said, oh, here's the person leading all public opinion polls, by far the most likely person to challenge the current government, leading in many polls to become the next president. And now that same government is prosecuting that person, and not for traditional crimes of murder or kidnapping or extortion or bribery, but for crimes that require this kind of very dubious interpretation, this pioneering use of the law. So I think that anger that he's conveying there was the right choice, because it isn't something to be frivolous about. And I think that was something that he wants his supporters to understand. But yeah, I think, you look at the way in which these legal processes are being abused there, and even just the cynicism of it. So the first case was brought by a liberal district attorney where they want to put him on trial in Manhattan, a place that 90-10 voted for Joe Biden. This one will be in Atlanta, presumably, unless he moves it to federal court, and then there's just the Fulton County, but it's still a very Democratic place. And then obviously the one in Washington as well, with the January 6th indictment under Jack Smith, which is filled with Democrats as well. The only exception is the Mar-a-Lago one. That's a little bit more balanced. But they're not even pretending that they want this to be a fair process. There is this theory, and I think it's very conspiratorial, and I don't think it's true, that Democrats want to run against Trump. They know that these kinds of indictments will solidify his ability to get the nomination more easily, driving Republican voters into his arms. That's certainly the effect of it. I'm not sure that's the intent. I don't think it's the intent. I think the intent is they want blood. And the reason they want blood is because basically Donald Trump vandalized everything they regard as sacred about American politics. And every power center views it that way. Liberal Democrats view it that way. It's a bloodthirsty movement. Do you know how often liberal politics now is about very little other than demanding the censorship of your political enemies or the imprisonment of your political enemies?
Interesting you're saying that.
Like it's almost there's no positive policy constructive aspect to it. They want everybody silenced and deplatformed or in prison.
Yeah, and they label you and you're racist. Once they say you're racist, that's it.
Well,
you're racist.
It's all emotion at this point.
Yeah.
Like logic is out the window, being stoic is out the window. Any sort of like, hey, this is how things go. It's people on the right are freaking pissed because they see what the hell's going on here. And in many cases, rightfully so, especially what you highlighted with the Russia collusion and all that and everything that you did with the reporting. People are pissed. This is why they're coalescing around Trump and they're basically just anointing him as But on the left, they just, as you said, they want blood. It's just an emotional Trump derangement syndrome, everything with that.
I think what began as a cynical political script turned into a true belief on the part of most of American liberalism, which is the idea that Trump really is a Hitler-like figure, that his movement is this fascist, white nationalist dictatorship he's seeking to impose. And if you begin with that premise, a lot of what follows then makes sense. But the way it's so dangerous is if you look even now with the war in Ukraine, the last poll is 55 to 45 Americans want no more money going to Ukraine. The only reason it's that close is because 75%, by far the biggest demographic group of self-identified liberal Democrats want there to be endless and infinite support for the Ukrainian cause by the United States. Why are they suddenly so pro-war? No, it's because even there, they've been feeding on this anti-Russian hatred. The idea, the most cataclysmic event in the life of American liberals was the 2016 election where Donald Trump won and Hillary Clinton lost. It was psychologically cataclysmic. There were all sorts of reports by psychologists about mental health episodes and neuroses and anxiety disorders that came from it. And the reason they want that war is because they want to destroy Russia. That's the level of kind of visceral hatred politically on which they're feeding, that they want a war to continue for no reason other than they want to destroy a country for no reason other than the fact that they blame that country for Donald Trump's election.
Isn't it all just come down to vindication and vindictiveness? Whether it's people on the left being like, we got to get back for the Russia thing, or even this. You talked about the Lula, Jair Bolsonaro, about you're concerned about him being vindictive, which he sort of is. You know, that's not the face of someone who's ready to go lightly.
Yeah,
someone who's angry.
I mean, you blame him?
It's a pretty dangerous political climate where people are operating on their most primal, tribal, and visceral impulses, and those have been deliberately stoked and cultivated primarily by the media for a lot of self-interested reasons. And when you put that kind of cauldron of just human intensity and emotion pitted one another against the other, only bad things can happen from that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.